What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I know I am. There's been some great basketball. But I really want to talk about how great the Boston Celtics have been in the last about 4 to 6 weeks or so of the season, basically since the new year. Before I hop into it, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. Appreciate it. So the Celtics, since the new year, they're the #1 rated defense in the entire league. And that's a big thing. At being a playoff championship contender, possibly, you have to be able to get stops. And they've been really able to hunker down and start clamping teams up. They've been a very, very good defensive team. Now, when you look at their roster makeup, you're like, yeah, they should be. Like, you would think they'd be a good defensive team. So the fact they're getting it together now, it's a good sign because Jayson Tatum's a good defender. Jaylen Brown's a really good defender. Marcus Smart's a really, really talented defender. Derek White, who they just traded for, he's a solid defender on your team. I'm a huge fan of Robert Williams. I think he's one of the best centers in the entire league. He's one of the best paint protectors. He can switch on to people. Al Horford does a good job anchoring down there when he needs to. He's a smart defender. They've got defenders. Oh, and Grant Williams, forgot about him too. He's a solid defender too. He makes a lot of decent plays here and throughout the game. So they have the makeup of a good defensive team. So now that they're actually proving that they can be one, it's awesome to see. Because even if your offense, which has still kind of been a little clunky, even if your offense isn't like hitting on all cylinders, you have something to fall back on and keep you in games. So I really like that the defense is showing that it's as good as it is right now. In the last 10 games, they're 9-1 as a record. That's really, really solid. Anytime you go 9 wins, 1 loss, I think your coach is going to be happy. Speaking of the coach, I was pretty critical of Ime Udoka in the beginning of the season. And I'm glad that the team seems to be buying into his. He seems like a tough love, like you work for your minutes kind of coach. And it seems to be working with them. It seems like kind of they figured it out, like what they want to do. So I give him a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of credit for fixing the issues that they had. And then, of course, the team deserves a lot of credit because they just started playing better straight on top of that. And then since the new year, if I counted the record correctly, they're 17-7, which is a really, really quality win-loss record. It's good to see. And then just a couple, I think last night, they beat the Sixers by like a zillion points. They beat them by 48. Anytime you beat a top 3 or 4 team in a conference by 48, that's incredible. I know the Sixers are missing some players because of their trade and everything, but still, this is an NBA team with NBA players. You beat them by 48. That deserves a lot of praise. And the whole team played well when they did it. I think the thing that people forget about with this team, and they're like, why they might be writing them off like way earlier, they had this taste of what the team was last year in their mouth, where it's like, oh yeah, Jayson Tatum had to put up like 50 for them to have a chance in the playoffs. People are forgetting Jaylen Brown was hurt for like the entire like second half of the season, basically missed the entire playoffs. They lost one of their best players and went into the playoffs. Of course, they weren't going to win. When you lose one of your top 2 players, it's very unlikely you're going to be able to win a championship without that guy, especially in the NBA when there's only 5 players on the court at a time. So I think if Jaylen Brown is healthy, as we're seeing right now, he's been absolutely cooking lately. He's been putting up, 20 plus a night, plays fantastic defense. He's getting better at passing. It seems to be hitting threes. He's doing a lot of like what people think he can do at a high level. If he's healthy with Jayson Tatum going into the playoffs, that's not a team you want to run into. You run into them, you're going to be in there, especially when you got guys like Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, Al Horford, Derek White. Like when you have guys like that are like quality, really, really good players helping Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that's not a team you want to face. That's, you're coming out you're leaving that series a different team as the opponent. Like you're coming out scarred because I don't want to be the guy that's got to guard Jayson Tatum for 48 minutes. I don't want to be the one that's got to switch off him and go guard Jaylen Brown next. Like it's terrifying. It's basically what people think the Clippers would be with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, only those guys haven't been healthy either. So I really like what this team is doing. I think they really need to get Robert Williams back. Tonight's loss to the Pistons, they lost by 1. It was honestly a really, really good game. The Pistons were in it all the way through. It was never one team really pulling away from the other. I did think that the Celtics were going to be able to pull it out, but Jeremy Grant made some really, really tough shots. And at the end of the day, you can just say it's tough shot, good shot. You just tip your cap. I think this game though really proved the stance that I have with Robert Williams. He is super, super important. They gave up 18 offensive rebounds. Anytime you do that, you're probably not going to win. So, getting Robert Williams back, I don't think he's actually injured. If I read this correctly, he's only missed the last couple games because of the birth of his child, which completely get that. Kids come first. So if that's if that is correct, I hope it is, because I don't want to see injuries or anything like that. I know Marcus Smart's got an ankle injury. They haven't, from what I saw, given any like major update or anything. He's kind of going day to day. So that's usually good news. Maybe he'll be back in a week, maybe 2 weeks. You never know with ankle sprains. But I really, really like the trajectory this team is on, because I could see them being a title contender. I don't know if they would actually do it. It's impossible to predict that right now. The East is loaded right now with basically 1 through 8 are all like legit teams. So Celtics fans, I think you guys should be a lot more happy with how this season is trending now. I know the beginning was rough. They were blowing leads and stuff like that. They just couldn't get the cohesiveness down, but I think that they're finally have it together. And I'm really excited for it because, like I said earlier in the video, I love watching Jayson Tatum. Jaylen Brown's growing on me. It's awesome. I hope to watch more of these games as they go. Anytime you beat a team by 48, you're gonna put a lot of eyes on you. And I've been watching before that anyway, just because I am a huge fan of Tatum, as I've stated many times in this video. But Celtics fans, let me know how you're feeling. If you guys are confident, I know the loss might have a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth, but let me know how you guys are feeling about the playoffs, about Jaylen Brown, about Robert Williams, Tatum, Grant Williams. Let me know how you're feeling about your team, your coach, where you guys think this is going to go, how much hope you have, how you think you stack up against, the teams like the Heat, or who's another good one, the Cavs, the Nets, probably the Bucks. How did I forget the champion team? Let me know how you're feeling against them. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Celtics, you guys have a lot to be looking forward to, and I hope that they continue it going. I'm done here. Peace.